Good afternoon, the internet. My name's Josiah, and I have been told I should introduce myself. I have a podcast that I don't update very often. I have this YouTube channel, which I hope to update more often. I'll include some links if you like how I think. But I wanted to discuss something dark today that seems relevant in the news. And that is wishing people were dead. An overview. The president is sick with something that has killed 209,000 Americans by contemporary accounts. A disease that he is handled very poorly, deaths that he has caused by neglect at a minimum. And there's been some back and forth amongst people I agree with politically about well-wishing and the morality of wishing he was dead. And I had some what I hope to be clarifying comments on that subject. And the first is that wishing doesn't make it so, which at least occasionally is a huge bummer. As a person who's had some desperate and fervent wishes in my day, I have gotten not all of them, and there seems to be no relationship with my fervency or my need. And I think that it is important, if you're going to accuse people of immorality, that they be doing something that has an outcome. And if wishing doesn't have an outcome, then it doesn't have any moral valence. Because if you wish privately for a thing, or you wish on Twitter for a thing, I'm fairly sure that God listens with equal attentiveness to both contexts, to wishes within both contexts. And so you're just not morally on the hook for what you wish for. You're not morally on the hook for what you imagine. You're not morally on the hook for that kind of thing. The pertinent phrase that I think is quite worth spreading is, you're not responsible for the first thing you think. You are responsible for the second. And wishing someone was dead is frequently, especially in a context in which you're not going to act on that wish, you're just sitting around wishing, it's a stand-in for wishing they were gone. And with our current president, dead is maybe the only sure way that he leaves without conflict. And so wishing he was dead is commensurate with his quality as president. Right? He's a terrible president. Everybody, everywhere, except for Putin, including President Trump, might be better off if he wasn't president. And seeing the chance that he would just shut up already in any way for any reason, and like, oh, here's a reason, maybe he'll die of the virus he's been culpably negligent about. That's not unreasonable. It's not immoral. It's not awful. It's not. Now, it might be ghoulish and dickish, right? Especially if you're going to do it publicly. If you're just like at home thinking, I hope he's dead, that's fine. 100%. It's totally cool. everybody should be fine with that because you're not in charge of anything and your wishes aren't magic spells, so you can wish for anything you want. But if you do it publicly, it starts to have an impact on the world. And there's room for consideration that you shouldn't be doing this out loud because it makes you look bad and it looks the people you're associated with look bad. And if he doesn't die, which he probably won't, then we have to go back to getting him out electorally. And all of us, cavorting and giggling and fervently wishing out on Twitter that he passes from this disease, at that point it might actually just be dumb to do it publicly, which is different from immoral, but it might have bad impacts. And I think that it makes sense for those of us with profound reach, those of us who are extraordinary at making messages, that they say non-ghoulish, non-dickish things, even if the rest of us don't feel that way or know better, right? And furthermore, so on to the next topic. Wishing someone who sucks is dead is not the same as wishing someone who's cool is dead. It's not the same. For example, let's say there was a person who wanted to kill you and was going to try, and you wished that person was dead. It'd be fine, right? The essence of fine. Who could argue with that? They're going to try. You're going to wish. You're clearly okay. You're clearly in the clear, right? And the president, as I've mentioned, is a really bad president. And his continued presence as president is profoundly negatively impactful for really, I think, the whole globe. I think really everyone everywhere is worse off for his presence. And wishing that guy was gone is just not that bad. And you can tell it's not all that bad from a lot of people's perspectives because we have the death penalty. At a certain threshold of badness, depending on what state you live in, we're not just allowed to wish you were dead. We, as the state, are allowed to make you dead. So clearly wishing someone was dead when they suck bad enough, it's got to be okay by some standard. Now, myself personally, I don't think the state can be trusted with the death penalty for a variety of reasons, most of them racism, but it's clearly in the realm of acceptable to wish that someone sufficiently morally and objectively problematic was dead. So I just wanted to clear the air a little bit, put out a calm perspective about the nature of wishing out there. If you liked my perspective and you wanted to encourage me to continue to do this kind of thing, leave me a positive comment, subscribe, or whatever other sharing things that makes this more popular would also be nice. And if you didn't, you can leave a terrible comment because it's YouTube and you can say awful stuff here. Thanks for your time and attention, and good luck.